Ukraine is at it again. President Zelensky has signed yet another bill to tighten his clutches on military-aged men. The law will come into force a month from now. Zelensky has been desperate, remember, for more soldiers, more ammunition, more aid. Munitions and aid will only come at the West's disposal. But for soldiers, Zelensky can comb through the streets of his own country, and he is not leaving any stone unturned. What is his new law all about? Let me break it down for you. The new law obliges men to update their draft data. Until now, draft offices had to rely on sometimes incomplete and old data. They would not know if a person is eligible to serve in the army. But now, the new law is supposed to make it easier to identify every single person who can be enlisted. It is a crackdown on men who have been hiding from the authorities. Those who continue to do so can now be punished. Because the law has also introduced new punishments for draft evasion. However, it stops short of severe measures that had been proposed earlier. Such was the public outcry that the bill went through 4,000 amendments after its first reading in February. 4,000. One can only imagine what brutal measures it proposed, or if it was merely shoddy work of the politicians. They did accuse each other of drafting poorly worded amendments and lacking the guts to approve unpopular changes. Now, the fact of the matter is, Ukrainian authorities have been beckoning at the youth to fight for the country, but the youth is looking the other way. They know that the roll call is a death call. Those who were interested in fighting for their country enlisted during the first 6 months of the war, but the mobilization did not stop. Many Ukrainians don't want to go to war. Does not matter if they meet the eligibility criteria. Some have spent weeks or months hiding from mobilization officers. Many have bought fake medical reports to be exempted. Others fled the country while they could. While a few were able to escape conscriptions, others are being forced into it. Recruiting officers are becoming increasingly aggressive. They want to replenish the ranks no matter what it takes. In fact, there have been instances when they have pulled men off the streets and whisked them to recruiting centers. They have reportedly used intimidation, physical force even. They have confiscated passports, snatched people from their jobs, and in at least one case, tried to send a mentally disabled person to military training. That is what the reports say. And do note here, these tactics are not only aimed at draft dodgers. As per several reports, they're also targeting men who would ordinarily be exempt from service. And you know what? The aggressive methods go well beyond the scope of recruiters' authority in some cases. It's even illegal. Recruiters are not empowered to detain civilians, let alone force them into conscription. You see, men who receive draft notices are supposed to report to recruitment officers, not the other way around. But over 2 years of war ended up blurring the lines, it seems. All the generals can see is that the Russian forces outnumber Kiev's troops up to 10 times on the battlefield, and they are well aware of the draft dodgers. And so basically they are outsmarting the evaders with new laws and bills. This one is like the carrot and stick method. I already told you about the stick, as in the punishment. Now here's the carrot. The law has increased payments to volunteers and introduced new incentives to fight. This includes cash bonuses, money towards buying a house or car. And where exactly is all this extra money even going to come from? Can a war-torn country really afford this? Analysts say otherwise. And coming to the most important bit, is the new law going to make any difference on the battleground? It remains unclear how many soldiers could be mobilized under the new provisions. Some serving military personnel, in fact, have expressed concern. They say the law will not be enough to address troop shortages. In fact, a deputy commander of Ukraine's 3rd Assault Brigade has said it is not going to lead to any miracles. But then Zelensky still had to try, it seems. That's all he has been doing. Flailing his arms, looking for something to work. And this comes barely 15 days after he signed another controversial bill into law. This one lowered the conscription age from 27 to 25. And then there was another one targeting men who had been given waivers from military service to undergo another medical assessment. A third bill, now a law, aimed to create an online database of those eligible for military service. And all these rules just to shove people into the army. And you see, the door only opens one way. There is no bill or law that talks of troop rotation, nothing that mentions some respite from fighting. Many who started serving 2 years back still haven't got a break. And if they have, it was only to tend to their injuries. Is this how Ukraine plans to win its war? These are human beings we are talking about, not war machines. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.